Me, Richard Gorelick. Join us here every Thursday at 12:30 to talk about everything food-related in Baltimore, and you can see him, a special guest here today, sitting right there across from me. His name is Levine. Hi, Lane.
Hi.
Lane is here from A Friendly Bread, which is his company. You're not just representing it. It is you.
It is.
You are it. Friendly Bread. JMOR readers, if you're a JMOR reader, you've already know a little bit about Lane Levine and A Friendly Bread, because here's a story about Lane. Look how good he looks in that photograph in the September issue of JMOR. So you would have learned all about Lane by reading it. You still can get a copy of the magazine, but if you didn't, we're going to find out about Lane right now. Lane, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Lane, you're here, and you're of interest to us for many reasons, but particularly because of your bread. So let's tell people about your bread and your bread company and a little bit about the background of that. Do you want to start talking?
Happily.
Yes. Go for it.
I'll tell you about my bread.
And I'll pepper you with questions.
Okay. I've been baking bread for about 10 years now. I started out when I was living in rural Northern California.
Rural Northern California?
Yes.
Wow. Like what's a place called?
Humboldt County.
Oh, yeah.
With all the pot and the redwood trees.
Yeah. And good cheese, or the Humboldt Fog.
Yes. It's known that way.
Yeah, that's how I know it.
There was a bakery there called Los Bagels that was owned by a couple. One of them was Jewish, one of them was Mexican Catholic. And I would get my challah every week there, and I forgot that they would not be open on Christmas Eve, which happened to be a Shabbat. And so I couldn't get my challah one day, so I decided to teach myself how to make it. And by the time I left Humboldt County, I had become known to Los Bagels, and they gave me their recipe when I left California.
Wow.
So I brought the recipe back to Baltimore with me, where I'm from, and where I could share bread with my family, and I baked bread for a number of years.
So through this point, you're a recreational baker, or
That's right, yeah.
Sort of a friendly baker.
That's right. My grandfather used to bake bread recreationally for friends and family for many, many years, so it was a little bit a part of me.
And at some point, what was sort of a vocation? Or wait a minute, which is which?
A non-vocation. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. All that a degree in English. No, what was your avocation? It became it became a business for you at some point. And that transition I was reading about is very interesting, considering what you had been doing. So talk a minute about what you had been doing and that transition until full-time baking.
Ever since I graduated from college, I had worked in nonprofit fields. I had been trained as a community organizer. So I would work with different slices of different communities, getting them to come together to fight for legislation on the city level, or bring people together to form community for certain goals. And the last job that I was doing was working over at Sinai Hospital, where I was born.
Me too.
And I was doing public health kind of work.
So what I hear from people in those fields, and what I learned about you, is that it can be very fulfilling, but it can also be frustrating too. Did that happen? Did it sound like it was frustrating at some point?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. I find it hard to make an impact, or hard to feel a sense of concreteness about the impact that you're making.
And that's a great segue to your bread, because it sounded like you were feeling it that way, that concrete fulfillment, and knowing that you had nourished people.
Yes. I started the business out of my house on the weekends. I had gotten caught up in this sourdough baking craze.
Yeah.
Michael Pollan had a great series out called Cooked on Netflix, and there's a whole episode about bread baking, and it focused on sourdough, and I decided to take it up. And it took a lot of really bad bread to get to good bread, because sourdough is difficult to make. The other bread I was making was a lot easier. When you're using commercial yeast, it's a lot easier to control. But sourdough was a real journey to figure out how to do that right. But I think the rewards of the journey are just so much better. And I only do natural leavening. I only do sourdough now. And so as I was trialing and learning, I was giving bread away, and people kept enjoying it and telling me, "You're giving me too much bread, I want to pay for it." Or my husband would say, "There's too much bread in our freezer, there's no room for anything else, please get this out to people."
And then at some point, you started a business.
Yes.
And the business is called A Friendly Bread.
That's right.
And what do you mean by that?
The origin of the name is that I did a little bit of an intensive market research study when I first started. I had 5 friends plus me providing feedback every week in a Google sheet on many different aspects of the bread I was baking each weekend, and I asked for free form responses. And at one point, it was actually David, my husband, who observed about one of the most simple breads. Choose well, a friendly bread. Choose, CHEWS. Choose well, a friendly bread.
Got it. Thank you. That was a great clarification.
And I feel like that described how I wanted to relate to people too. There's a strain of this. I guess that's a bread pun. In terms of sourdough, there's a strain of sourdough and artisan bread baking that can be a little bit snobby.
Sure.
And I don't feel that way. I feel like I want to share it with people, and I want the flavors to be a little more fun and exciting rather than like full on local, freshly milled, organic, geek out that way. That's not really what I'm going for.
That's not who you are.
That's not who I am. I just want it to be friendly and easy to eat.
Gosh, it's so fun to think about, or funny to think about, the geek aspect of bread making. But it'll be like anything else, I guess, like coffee nerds, and like how kind of oppressive that can be. And
yeah, there's a spectrum. You can be interested in something and bring people along in that interest, and sometimes you can get so interested in it that it leaves people behind.
Yes, I get that. Before I forget, I'm going to ask this question now, because I just might forget, and it's on my mind. Where can people get the bread?
Yes.
And how can they get the bread?
The business model I am developing is meant to bring back the idea of the milkman.
Oh.
So I want people to order the bread online on my website, afriendlybread.com, and then if people live in one of the 14 apartment buildings that I deliver directly to, they would go to afriendlybread.com/residential. And if they live in an apartment building, I deliver directly to their front desk on Friday and what they ordered.
Oh my gosh.
And if they don't live in an apartment building, I deliver to a series of key drop-off spots in different neighborhoods, wine stores, brewing companies, and I'm exploring in the future actually delivering directly to people's homes, but I'm not at that point yet. And while the farmers market season is still in full swing, I do sell at Pikesville Farmers Market on Tuesday afternoons, Fells Point Farmers Market on Saturday mornings, and now I'm in Olney in Montgomery County on Sunday mornings.
So those seasons are wrapping up.
That's right.
The farmers market. So you'll be focusing on the other plan.
That's right.
So great. I love the Milkman prototype. What are just a couple of apartment buildings? I'm curious.
Yeah. The Icon at the Rotunda has been.
Oh, okay.
They were my first one, and they're really enthusiastic, and people order, and I do tastings at wine and cheese parties for them.
And here comes Lane. Oh my gosh, yeah,
that's
kind of
right.
That's awesome. I love it.
The Fitzgerald in Midtown, the Spinnaker Bay apartments down in Harbor East. It's those kinds of luxury apartment buildings. A bunch of them in Canton, like the Domain and the Porter.
This is fascinating. I love that we're talking about this. It's so great. There was something else about the food and delivery. Oh, you're baking. You're baking still out of the Be More Kitchen. Is
That's
that what it's
right.
called?
Yeah, Be More Kitchen. for a couple months now, I have had a baker working for me. So I was baking it all out of my house, and then I was baking it all out of Be More Kitchen. But actually now, in order to be able to meet the need at the farmers markets and to expand, I have a baker working full time. And I just brought challah back into the mix, but I'm doing it with natural leavening, not the old commercial yeast. And so I'm the one that comes in and bakes the challah on Thursday night.
That's reassuring.
Yes.
I love that. But there's bread. You brought bread.
That's right.
Can we see the bread?
Yes.
I'll hold up the bread.
Yes.
With my fingers. Let's touch it. Oh, gosh.
Chewy, crusty artisan sourdough. This particular loaf is the sun-dried tomato.
Sun-dried tomato,
yes.
Yeah.
Every week, the offerings that people can order, they can order from whole wheat, simple country loaf, and then a savory loaf or a sweet loaf. This week, the savory one is sun-dried tomato. The sweet one this week is pecan cranberry, and it rotates every week.
Rotates every week. Have you had to bring back a couple flavors by popular demand?
People get hostile when they find out that I haven't brought olive. That comes back frequently. All of my savory ones, people get a little crazy about. The sun-dried tomato as well as the caramelized onion one.
Gosh, I think I might be one of those olive complainers. Like, where's the olive?
You
Where's
missed
the
it.
Olive.
It's back in 2 weeks.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Keeps them coming back.
Yeah.
What? Oh, there's some questions here. Let's see if I forgot to ask any of them. Let's talk for a few minutes. Do we have a few minutes about food outside of bread?
Okay.
And Baltimore, like you live in, do you technically Hamden or Medfield?
Woodbury. Yeah.
What are your some favorite places in the neighborhood?
Oh goodness, I love eating around here.
Yeah.
My husband and I just got married, and we hosted everybody for lunch at La Cuchara. It was just fantastic. They did a fantastic job. Great to work with.
Super. Where was the wedding?
Hazukamuna.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, first gay wedding at Hazukamuna.
Was it really?
It was, yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so pleased. When was that?
It was June 16th.
It was just this summer.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
June 16th. That's a nice day.
Yeah, so La Cuchara, fantastic. Whenever it's time for pizza, we go to Pauly G's. But if we want non-artisan pizza, we go to Pepe's.
Pepe's, right.
Yeah.
Right. And do both of you eat everything? Are you omnivores or?
Oh, we eat everything, but I'm very weird and I have lots of food shticks. I don't like a lot of dairy, like creamy things. I usually don't eat olives unless they're in bread.
We were having this conversation about bananas yesterday. Like people who like bananas but don't like banana flavored things.
I used to like only banana flavored things and started eating bananas when I was about 21.
21?
I can't.
That is late to
explain
bananas. It's inexplicable.
I just had a pawpaw on Sunday for the first time. It was fantastic.
They grow some in Maryland. I think Ohio is a big pawpaw region. I'm not sure.
Or
south.
They are at least native to Maryland. That's one thing that makes them special. Is one of the farmers at Olney Farmers Market gave me one, and
what'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. It was really good.
Can you use it in bread?
Maybe. I don't know.
What's coming up holiday-wise, Thanksgiving? Any special plans for that?
Oh, bread-wise?
Yeah, bread-wise.
Oh, yeah. I have a pecan cranberry, like I said.
Perfect.
And that'll probably make a showing. I also have a rosemary and pumpkin seed, which will probably make a showing. And one of my sources of revenue is I work with Black Bottom Farm Collective, which is an aggregator, and people order from them weekly, and I'm the source of bread for them, and they're going to put together a Thanksgiving package.
Who orders from them? Restaurants or
individuals?
Individuals.
It's actually similar to my model. People order, and they actually deliver directly to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or a central location, or directly to them?
Directly to them.
Gosh.
Yeah. And they aggregate seafood from the Eastern Shore and from different farms. The woman who runs it grows her own mushrooms. It's really cool.
Black Bottom.
Black Bottom Farm Collective.
We've had such a good time, but we're running out of time. We have enough time to repeat the website.
Okay.
afriendlybread.com. And was there anything that I neglected to ask you that you thought, I'm sure Richard's going to ask about that? But
No.
Okay.
But also, people, in addition to all those things, they can still get it all those ways, but they can also sign up for a subscription. That's what everybody wants these days, too. So,
subscription.
Yeah, subscription.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to the gym today. I told Lane I was going to promise.
Yeah.
Here on Facebook Live. I'm going to. Join us here every Thursday at 12:30 p.m. for This Week in Baltimore Eating. Amanda's back next Thursday. We'll have plenty to talk about, including the reopening of Peter's Inn. Yay! The 20th anniversary of Gertrude's, which was just this past Monday, and other food-related news, including Lexington market plans. So much to talk about. For more food fun, sign up for This Week in Baltimore Eating newsletter at jmoreliving.com/newsletter. Hey, see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.